My tragic story began when I was just 5 years old. An age when I shouldn't have known anything about pain, fear, or broken homes. But I did. I grew up with parents who were lost. Lost in addiction. Lost in their own darkness. They weren't bad people, just broken in ways a child could never understand. I remember nights that didn't feel like nights. Chaos instead of silence. Fear instead of safety. At 5 years old, I already knew what it meant to feel unsafe in your own home. I already knew that love could be unpredictable, and sometimes disappear completely. And then one day, it happened. They left me. No explanation. No "we love you." No promise to come back. Just me. And the silence that followed. At that moment, I didn't understand what was happening. I just felt something inside me collapse. Because when you're a child, you don't blame the world. You blame yourself. I thought maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe I was too much. Too loud. Too difficult. Too easy to leave behind. Years passed, but that feeling stayed. It followed me into every relationship, every decision, every moment of doubt. A quiet voice in my head asking, will they leave too? But as I grew older, something started to change. I began to see the truth, not as a child, but as someone who survived it. My parents didn't leave because I wasn't worthy of love. They left because they didn't know how to love at all. And that realization set me free. Because my story didn't end there. Life gave me something I never expected. A second chance. A family that chose me. A home where silence meant peace, not fear. Where love didn't disappear overnight. They didn't just raise me. They rebuilt me. Piece by piece. They taught me what it means to be seen. To be heard. To be loved, without conditions. And slowly, that little girl who was once left behind started to become someone new. Someone stronger. Someone aware. Someone who refused to repeat the past. Today, when I look back, I no longer see only tragedy. I see a turning point. Because as painful as it was, maybe it was also necessary. Maybe being left behind saved me from a life I was never meant to live. Maybe that moment of abandonment was, in a strange way, protection. Because I was given the chance to grow into someone more. To build a name. To build a life. To become a person I can be proud of. And now I understand something powerful. Your beginning doesn't define your ending. And sometimes, the hardest starts create the strongest people. For a long time, I carried that moment with me like a shadow. Not something people could see, but something I felt in everything. In the way I loved. In the way I trusted. In the way I always prepared myself to be left again. I became strong. But not the kind of strong people admire. The kind of strong that doesn't ask for help. The kind that smiles, even when everything inside is breaking. Because when you learn early that no one is coming to save you, you stop expecting anyone to stay. But strength like that comes with loneliness. And loneliness becomes familiar. I built walls. Not to push people away, but to protect what was left of me. And the truth is, those walls worked. No one could hurt me the same way again. But no one could truly reach me either. And that's when I realized something. Surviving is not the same as living. So I made a choice. Not a loud one. Not a dramatic one. A quiet decision. To stop being controlled by a past I didn't choose. I started to heal. Not perfectly. Not quickly. But honestly. I faced the memories I avoided. I questioned the beliefs I carried. I learned to separate who I am from what happened to me. And slowly, everything began to shift. I stopped chasing people who made me feel unsure. I stopped proving my worth where it was never seen. I stopped asking for love from those who didn't know how to give it. Instead, I started choosing myself. And that changed everything. Because the moment you choose yourself, you stop accepting less. You stop settling. You stop shrinking. You stop begging to be loved. And you start becoming someone who doesn't need to be saved. Today, I don't tell my story for pity. I tell it because it's proof. Proof that you can come from darkness and still build light. Proof that what breaks you doesn't have to define you. Proof that even a child left behind can grow into someone who leads, inspires, and rises. So if you've ever felt abandoned, forgotten, not enough, I need you to understand this. You were never the problem. And your story is far from over. And now, when I look at my life, I don't see that little girl as weak anymore. I see her as the beginning of everything. Because she survived what many wouldn't understand. She felt pain before she even knew what life was. And still, she didn't disappear. She became me. And today, I'm no longer standing on the side of the road. I'm moving forward. With purpose. With clarity. With a strength that wasn't given to me, but built. I built it from silence. From tears no one saw. From nights where I had to be my own comfort. And maybe that's why I am who I am today. Not in spite of my past, but because of it. Because sometimes, life doesn't break you to destroy you. It breaks you to rebuild you differently. Stronger. Sharper. Unstoppable. And here's the truth most people don't talk about. If I had stayed, if I had grown up in that chaos, in that instability, in that pain that never ends, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be this person. So as hard as it is to say, maybe that moment, when they left me, wasn't just abandonment. Maybe it was a turning point. Maybe it was the only way life could take me out of a place that was slowly destroying me. And maybe it was the beginning of something greater. Because life didn't just take something from me. It gave me something too. A chance. A real chance. A family that didn't have to love me, but chose to. People who saw me, not as a burden, but as potential. And they didn't just raise a child. They helped build a person. With a name. With a voice. With a future. And now, I'm not the girl who was left behind. I'm the woman who kept going. Who didn't give up. Who turned pain into power. So if you're watching this, and you feel like life abandoned you too, listen carefully. This is not your ending. This is your beginning.